This has probably been the most unfortunate video I have ever made. It's actually my third time making this because of unforeseen issues like weird corrupt files, tons of medical issues, and technical difficulties of all sorts. So anyways, with that all aside, what I have for you today, well, basically is a portable Android and Apple Auto device meant to be used for motorcycles. But honestly, as long as you have a mount and a way to plug the thing in, you could use this on scooters, cars, and God knows what else. It connects to your phone through Bluetooth and offers a handful of features that we're going to talk about. The company Carpuride, at least I hope that's what it's pronounced as, sent me this device to make a video on. Now, I'm not sponsored by them, I was not offered or given any money, and my opinions and observations are that solely of my own. They did, however, want me to be a part of an affiliate program, which would mean that if you clicked on a certain link and bought that item, that I would get some sort of cut from it. But I've since declined that offer. For many reasons, honestly, but the key one for me being that a lot of times with these affiliate programs, it results in influencers or these videos putting out reviews that make me heavily question if what they're saying is of their true opinions and not just some 10-minute long infomercial where they're shilling the product like it's the most revolutionary thing ever made. Carpride may even hate me for saying this and want nothing to do with me now, but oh well, I'd rather be poor and honest than rich and be a liar. Right off the bat, this is an expensive device according to their own website. It's about $400 retail, but it's almost always on sale on sites like Amazon. In fact, the lowest I've seen on Amazon was like $185, which will be included in the description of this video. This is the W702 model. There's a couple others that the company sells, different sizes and like a smaller 5-inch screen. There's also pro versions of these models that I guess showcase even more features. I don't know. $200 is kind of expensive still, and some might argue that if you already have a decent cell phone and a good phone holder mount, you wouldn't ever have to spend that kind of money to be able to access all the stuff that this device offers, which in reality is 100% true. Your phone is going to do infinitely more than what these things ever could, but some people don't exactly like having their phone attached to their handlebars, and, you know, I get it. So what comes in the box? Obviously the device itself, the handlebar mount, and locking extension piece here. If you've ever seen a RAM mount before, this really isn't that much different. It also has two different ways to connect this to your bike for power. One lead that plugs into a USB port, and another that you would connect to a battery. Both cords have a spot for a fuse, and both connect with a prong-type plug that's identical to the one that's used on my Christmas tree. I'm a little confused about this set of wires here. I don't exactly know why they would have left the wires exposed like this instead of including the ring type ends like even the cheapest battery tender harness has. Though, maybe I'm nitpicking. The 702 model offers a 7-inch screen, which yeah, is very large. I used it on my Royal Enfield Classic for this video since it's the only bike I have that has a USB port already installed on the bars. Before you say anything, yeah, I'm extremely aware this looks absolutely goofy on a bike like the Classic 350. What would make more sense is on my Versys, but I didn't exactly feel like routing any wires to the battery. Though, fun fact, this does power on using a external battery pack. When looking up reviews on this device on Amazon and online in general, a bulk of the motorcycles that I tend to come across comprised heavily of adventure bikes, Tigers, African Twins, various BMW GS adventure bikes, and only a handful of Harleys, Indians, and offbeat ones like a Honda Grom. And I swear to God, I've seen someone put a mirror post on a Vespa Supersport and use one of these 702s. Bizarre, but I kinda dig it. As soon as you plug the thing in, it powers on. It does have an additional power button on the side here, as well as a spot for a card reader, which to me is completely pointless since I imagine very few people are throwing hard copies of files into stuff like this when they could just use a music service like Spotify or YouTube Music if anyone actually uses that. But really, before you do anything, you do have to pair it with your phone, which I imagine all of us have paired things to Bluetooth before, so there's really no point in going over that. But once you do have it paired, it should automatically pop up Android Auto or Apple Play, and you're good to go with the usual stuff you're accustomed to. But if you go back to the home page, there are a few things I haven't touched on. On the top right changes the background, there's a brightness option. The Bluetooth icon here actually allows you to turn on and off access to things like the device's connection to make calls and for music. It even has an equalizer and volume setting, though I don't really understand this. I'm assuming they're both associated with sound systems off maybe your bike's Bluetooth speaker setup. I say this because it doesn't serve any purpose when I had a pair of earbuds or headphones in. Playing around with the settings didn't change anything, but maybe I'm missing something here. Another quirky thing while we're at it, so I can take phone calls just fine, but I can't seem to figure out how to actually go about calling someone. I mean, yeah, it will call someone, but the sound's output wasn't going to my earbuds and instead the phone. But again, maybe I'm missing something here. Either way, I couldn't figure it out, and maybe that's an ease of use issue. Or maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't know. Truth be told, I don't exactly listen to music or talk to people when I ride as it is, so I guess this feature doesn't exactly benefit me much anyway. Despite all that, honestly, if you've ever used Android Auto or Apple Play, this isn't exactly hard to figure out. Everything behaves exactly like it should, the same way it would on your car. There's only ever been one time where the Bluetooth connection wonked out and reset mid-ride, but I strike that up as a rare occurrence since it's never happened again. I use Waze as my GPS, and again, it functions exactly as it should. Spotify also acts like normal. Basically anything I would normally need is already here for me, all the while my phone is tucked away in my pocket. I've also used this at work off of one of my trucks just for shits and grins since I do have a mount for something like this, and again, works completely fine, no complaints. Okay, so let's talk about the screen here for a little bit. Being that it's the 702 model, again, it has a 7-inch screen, which is apparently dust and waterproof. It has the IP67 rating on it, which is common in phones, smartwatches, and other small electronics. The touchscreen, you may run into problems if you're using heavily padded gloves. I found that even my thicker leather ones, I had to press a bit harder onto the screen, but still it's really not that bad. Also, there seems to be a little bit of a delay or lag when you're typing in an address or going throughout the menus. I don't know why, but every single GPS I've ever used that wasn't on my actual phone has this exact same minor annoyance with lag. Though, if you really want, you could just use your voice commands like Siri or Google to change the route, call someone, or swap a song for you. The screen has this little bump out guard here, which I suppose helps with the rain and blocks out some of the oncoming sunlight. Still, it's super bright and easy to read on clear sunny days without having to go to the max brightness. I found myself not even really straying away from like the 60% mark on the brightness in most occasions. This, for whatever reason, doesn't have an automatic brightness setting, but I'm not totally sure it's necessary anyway. All in all, I think that this Carpride thing is pretty neat. I definitely think it has a niche audience, a specific market that this is going to attract. Adventure riders being that key demographic. It definitely is not going to appeal to everyone. There's people that will see something like this and go, why the hell would I buy this when I could just slap a phone on my bike? Or even go the super dirt cheap route by buying a used Garmin from like a pawn shop and wiring it to the battery for what, like 40, 50 bucks? I get what Carpride is doing with this, And for what it's worth, I do like it. I think if this is something that you would be in the market for, buy it on Amazon when it's on sale and give it a go. Like I said, there's always sales going on, so you should be able to find one easily around the $200 mark, and not that insane $400 retail thing like it's promoted on the website. I would never pay $400 for this, but $200 and under, yeah, I could get down with that. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video without dragging this on longer than I feel is necessary. Of course, I want to thank you all so much for watching. A huge thank you to Carpride for sending me this unit to make a video on. And sorry for the long delay, but you know, things just happen. Ride safe, everyone. And as I always say, take care. See you next time.